History often remembers Rome as an unstoppable empire, but there was a time when its survival hung by a thread. In the late 3rd century BC, the Roman Republic faced one of its greatest threats, Carthage. At the center of this storm stood a young man who would rise to legendary status, Publius Cornelius Scipio, later known as Scipio Africanus. Born in 236 BC into the powerful Corneli family, Scipio entered a world already shaped by war and political tension. His family was deeply embedded in Roman military and political life, and expectations for him were high from the beginning. Yet even with his noble background, nothing could prepare him for the crisis that would define his life, the Second Punic War. Rome was reeling. Hannibal Barca, Carthage's brilliant commander, had crossed the Alps and unleashed devastation across Italy. Roman armies suffered catastrophic defeats at battles like Trebia and Cannae. Entire legions were wiped out. Fear spread through the Republic. For many, Rome's fall seemed inevitable. It was in this atmosphere of desperation that Scipio's story truly began. Loss, resolve, and a rising leader. At just 18 years old, Scipio experienced a life-changing tragedy. His father was killed in battle in Spain. For most, such a loss might have ended any ambition. For Scipio, it had the opposite effect. Rather than retreat, he stepped forward. By his mid-20s, Scipio was entrusted with command in Hispania, one of the most critical theaters of the war. This was a bold decision by Rome. He was young, relatively inexperienced, and tasked with confronting seasoned Carthaginian generals. Many doubted him. But Scipio was not just another commander. He was innovative, strategic, and willing to take risks others avoided. He understood that defeating Carthage required more than brute force. It demanded intelligence, speed, and adaptability. The turning point in Spain. Scipio's campaign in Hispania would change the course of the war. In 209 BC, he launched a daring assault on New Carthage Adern-de-Gal, a major Carthaginian stronghold. The city was not just a military base, it was a hub of resources, wealth, and strategic power. Instead of a prolonged siege, Scipio used precise planning and timing. Exploiting weak defenses and coordinating a multi-directional attack, he captured the city swiftly. The victory shocked both allies and enemies. This was more than a battlefield success, it was a psychological breakthrough. For the first time in years, Rome had momentum. Carthage lost a vital base, and its grip on Spain weakened significantly. Scipio's reputation soared. He was no longer just a promising young commander, he was Rome's best hope. Changing the war. While Hannibal remained in Italy, Scipio made a bold and controversial decision. He would take the war directly to Carthage. Instead of chasing Hannibal across Italy, Scipio understood a deeper strategy: force Carthage to defend itself. By invading North Africa, he could shift the balance of power and compel Hannibal to return home. In 204 BC, Scipio landed in Africa with Roman forces and local allies, including the skilled Numidian cavalry. His campaign was swift and calculated. He attacked Carthaginian territories, disrupted alliances, and created pressure that Carthage could not ignore. The strategy worked. Hannibal, Rome's greatest enemy, was recalled from Italy. After years of dominance on foreign soil, he was now forced to defend his own homeland. The stage was set for a final confrontation. The Battle of Zama. In 202 BC, two of history's greatest military minds faced each other at the Battle of Zama. Hannibal brought experience, reputation, and a battle-hardened army. Scipio brought adaptability, fresh strategy, and powerful alliances. Unlike previous Roman commanders, Scipio studied Hannibal's tactics carefully. He anticipated the use of war elephants and reorganized his troops into flexible formations that could open pathways, minimizing the elephants' impact. More importantly, Scipio leveraged his alliance with the Numidian cavalry. Their mobility and skill proved decisive. As the battle unfolded, Hannibal's forces began to lose their advantage. Without cavalry dominance, his formations weakened. Scipio seized the moment, coordinating attacks that gradually broke Carthage's lines. The result was decisive. Hannibal was defeated. Carthage was forced into submission. The Second Punic War came to an end. Rome was saved. From hero to icon. After Zama, Scipio became a legend. He was awarded the title Africanus, a rare honor recognizing his victory in Africa. Rome celebrated him as a hero who had done what many thought impossible: defeat Hannibal. His victory reshaped the Mediterranean world. Carthage lost its power, its territories, and its ability to challenge Rome again. The Republic emerged stronger, more confident, and on a path toward empire. For a time, Scipio stood at the peak of Roman society, admired, respected, and influential. But success in Rome often came with a hidden cost: the politics of power and jealousy. Despite his achievements, Scipio's growing influence began to create tension within Rome. The Roman Republic was deeply political, and power was rarely uncontested. Many senators grew uneasy with Scipio's popularity. To them, he was no longer just a general, he was a potential threat. His views also put him at odds with others. After the war, some leaders wanted to completely destroy Carthage. Scipio, however, believed that Carthage was no longer a serious danger. He argued for a more balanced approach. This difference in perspective created friction. Gradually, admiration turned into suspicion. Accusations and injustice. In 187 BC, Scipio Africanus faced a shocking development. He was accused of corruption. The charges claimed that he had personally benefited from his military campaigns. While evidence was weak and motivations were likely political, the accusations still damaged his reputation. For a man who had given everything to Rome, this was a bitter turn. Rather than engage in endless political battles, Scipio chose to withdraw from public life. He left the center of power and retreated to his estate, distancing himself from the very system he had helped protect. It was a quiet but powerful statement. A life in reflection and disillusionment. Scipio spent his final years away from the spotlight. Though still respected by many, he carried a sense of disappointment. Rome, the state he had saved, had turned against him. Political rivalry and ambition had overshadowed gratitude. He died in 183 BC at the age of 60. Despite his monumental achievements, his farewell was not as grand as one might expect for a figure of his stature. Yet history would remember him differently. Legacy of a reluctant hero. Scipio Africanus remains one of the greatest generals in history. His victory at Zama did more than end a war, it changed the trajectory of Rome itself. Without him, the Roman Republic might not have survived Hannibal's invasion. But his story carries a deeper lesson. Greatness does not always guarantee recognition. Even the most celebrated heroes can face doubt, jealousy, and injustice. Scipio's life reflects both the heights of achievement and the complexities of power. He didn't just defeat Rome's greatest enemy, he revealed the challenges within Rome itself. And perhaps that's the real legacy of Scipio Africanus. Not just the man who saved Rome, but the man who showed that even victory has its cost. Scipio saved Rome, yet was forgotten by it. A reminder that even the greatest victories come with a cost. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe.